Hey there, everybody. I managed to pick up some jewelry at a local ARC store for $80. I believe all this to be sterling silver at the moment or thereabouts. One of these is stamped 950, and that is not sterling. Sterling, I believe, is technically 925 parts silver. So 950 is 20.25 more than that. I think people generally call that sterling as well. And some of it isn't stamped at all. So we're going to look into this stuff and see how I determined whether or not I made a good purchase. $80 seems like quite a bit for five kind of articles of jewelry. So we'll go over each one and try and price them. I generally use eBay for all of my pricing because I believe eBay has some of the most accurate pricing for items. I believe eBay prices are considered fair market value in most cases. So the first piece we're going to look at is going to be this. So this is what you would consider it's called a slave bracelet, I believe. This is what I know about it before I purchased it. It's a slave bracelet. I believe it's generally a Navajo artist who makes something like this. It's considered a cuff and a ring, and then there's a centerpiece, and it's all linked together. That is mother of pearl, and the other features are leaves and stems and what looks like flowers. Seems pretty typical of a Native American design, and I believe this to be sterling silver, although I have not acid tested it yet. I've seen several pieces like this before that do test for sterling silver that are not marked. Not every Native American artist marked their silver. I think a lot of them just made this kind of jewelry on a reservation and then wanted to quickly sell it, and maybe they didn't have the stamps required to put their initials on it. They just wanted to sell it to a tourist or what have you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and find some listings that look a lot like this one and see if I can figure out what the value is specifically for this item. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to type silver slave bracelet mother of pearl, because that's what I know about this so far. And we're gonna have some hits. Yeah, see, this one looks exactly like mine, actually. Um, yeah, it's not quite. So this actually has these little swirls in it, which is a feature that I do not believe mine shares. Mine has a much smaller swirl, but it's generally speaking a similar design. Yeah, even the way the craftsmanship is here is a bit different in comparison, but it's very, very similar. And this one might actually have. No, there isn't even a stamp on it that I could find. Yeah, this actually looks pretty similar in comparison to what I've got. Even the ring is made in a very similar way. So it's possible that this was the same artist, or maybe it was the same studio. Maybe they had different artists produce different pieces. Or maybe they just had more silver lying around when they made this particular piece. And that's why we have the extra features here. So it's pretty close. It's actually pretty much exactly what I have. And people are asking $135 for that. Here's another one. This one has 17 watchers. It's unsigned, just like mine. This one has some more interesting details on it, but I'd argue it's pretty similar even. And so it's got 17 watchers, which means that there's a good chance that this might actually sell for $145, including shipping. So that's interesting. Let's see. Let's do lowest first. I like to do lowest first because I don't want to get super excited and think that I have something that's worth a whole lot of money, because most of the time I don't have that item. And if you look at the lowest ones first, you'll see that people are possibly selling the item that you have for even cheaper. Okay, here's another one. This one's got a really funky design, not quite the same as what I have, but it's similar in design, right? Still has the oval mother of pearl. Okay, so the ring isn't built the same way as mine. Mine has a split. It's got a split instead of a single solid piece of wire, arguably. So this is not the same. So we will go ahead and assume that that is not the same as my piece. This looks pretty darn similar, except these are all single pieces, whereas mine has the two on each piece. Okay, so I think I've looked at enough. We could argue that my piece is worth maybe anywhere between $100 to $150. And it is part of the $80 lot of jewelry. Now let's see what's actually sold, because seeing what's actually sold is going to give us the best idea. Okay, so here is one. It looks pretty similar. It is broken, and it's still sold for over $40. This one is not quite the same, but it's similar, so not bad. This one looks pretty darn close to what I have. If we take a look at it, we can see that a best offer was accepted, so may have went for, obviously went for less than 105 including shipping, but this looks exactly like mine. So you'll notice that this one has this textured leaf here, and then it has this other kind of polished leaf here with not the same kind of texturing. This one has that exact same thing going for it. See? It looks, and also you've got what looks to be like a stem on top of the leaf, and then you have these two kind of swirling on the side. Same deal. You got a little stem on top of the leaf right here, and then these two swirling on the side. So this is quite literally the same piece. It's the same artist, two different pieces. And now I'm pretty confident that my piece is worth at least 100, at least. Mine does not have this same. So it looks like this piece was actually repaired poorly by somebody. Actually, my piece is much nicer than that. See, there's no heavy-duty repair job on my ring. So that might actually make my specific piece more valuable than this one that sold for less than $100, we'll say. But it's pretty much this piece. So I know that I could get around 100 for it for sure. Let's take a look at the next one. Okay, this is not quite the same. It also has a pair of earrings, which is pretty nice, but it's not quite the same as mine. This one, so Harry Yasi, this is actually signed by the artist. Mine is unsigned. If it were signed, it could be worth probably two times what we think it is, which is 100 to 150. It could be worth 250 to 300, like in this example. This isn't too far off from what I have, but it is signed by an artist. And this artist, it might be a renowned Navajo silversmith. And that is why they could demand a higher price of $285 plus shipping. And there's the maker's mark, which mine does not have, which is unfortunate. So this is kind of what you want to look for when you are looking for silver jewelry. The thing is I think I paid a pretty small amount for my piece, arguably. I think it was around $20. And yeah. So there you go. There's the first piece of jewelry. Pretty sweet. Basically found it. I believe it's worth 100 to 150. That's what I could put it up on eBay for. So I've already done pretty good on this lot of jewelry. Okay, so next. This is These are what I believe to be peridot. It's peridot, call it wire wrap, and it's a necklace, and it's also signed. And this is, I've seen this. I have a lot of jewelry actually with this maker's mark, so I think that this is actually some designer jewelry. This is not the easiest thing to make. This, you do have to put a wire through each of these, and then you basically twist it and loop it, and then you chain all of these together to make a necklace. So it's not easy to do this. So this is actually kind of a nice piece. We'll see what it's worth. So what I would do is I would probably do 925 peridot necklace. And then I will do, we'll do highest first on this one. And then because people can ask whatever they want, like $2,500 for a piece of jewelry, I'll bet you money that none of this stuff is actually selling for this much. Like, yeah, $950. Now this is a really good example of why you don't want to base everything off of what people are asking for jewelry, because under the same exact category, 925 peridot necklace, we saw pieces for 25 or 35 or whatever $100, and the only one that's actually selling, the one that sold for the most, is a David Yurman, which that is a designer brand. It doesn't surprise me that a David Yurman piece went for this much, and that's something you should look out for. I haven't found one yet, but I'm keeping an eye out. Okay, so it's not going to be any of this. It's not going to be any of this. I think it's probably going to be worth, you know what? Peridot necklace. Let's throw bead in as well. And you know what? Let's not do highest price. Let's just do end date most recent, because I think that might give us something. Let's see. That looks a lot like what I have. And I think this is it, actually. Yeah. Yep. So this looks exactly like my necklace. And that is the exact hallmark that my necklace has, that we could see right here, right? 925 with it looks like 2 arrows and a dot, or perhaps 2 mountains and a dot. It's hard to say. Well, if you flip it upside down, it would be 2 arrows, wouldn't it? Or 2 valleys, perhaps. But that's the same. It's the same exact hallmark here. It's the same exact necklace. And this one went for 35. It went for $40 with 2 bids on it. So there's some interest there. So that makes me wonder. Okay, so Silpada. I bet if I'm even pronouncing that right. That's it right there. So if we type Silpada, peridot, peridot necklace. Oh, we should also put 925 in there, which is sterling silver. Look at that. Mine isn't here. Yeah, I'm not seeing mine anywhere for sale anyways. Okay, so let's see, because we found some that have sold. So let's see what those are all about, shall we? All right, here we go. 56. Is this mine? Yes. Pretty much. Yeah, I have reason to believe that these two are quite similar, if not the same piece, in all honesty. Okay, so this went for $56. That's what it's sold for. Let's see what the next one sells for. Here's another one. About 43, 42. Yeah, this is the same. Okay, so call it 40, right? That's half of what I paid for this entire lot of jewelry. Okay, so we've identified it. It is a Silpada peridot necklace. Awesome. All right, $40. Next one. Okay, so this one's gonna be. I don't even really know where to start with this. It is an old style of channel set stones. It is sterling. It's got 925 here, and then it's got like a diamond shit, like an actual like diamond gemstone cut. It's princess cut. It's princess cut diamond shape with an F in it. I couldn't find anything online about this. I really honestly, I mean, your guess is as good as mine. I don't think I'm gonna find exactly this piece. I think this is probably worth $40. That's what I would list it for. And I mean, I could be giving it away. Maybe it's worth 200 or 300, but I paid $20 just for this ring in this lot. So I can't really sell it for, I mean, I need to at least make double my money. So I would probably list this for 40, or, you know, I would probably list it for however much I need to in order to actually make $40 profit. So maybe I list it for 60, 80, something like that, and see what happens. These are synthetic. None of these are real. And yeah, it is an interesting ring, and I want to say it could be antique. It's heavily tarnished. Like I did clean it up with some soap and water, and that's it. But this ring is heavily tarnished, so it's old. I just don't know how old it is. So we'll leave that there. This piece, okay. So this is a really interesting bracelet. It is stamped 950, and that's really the only clue I have. But the interesting thing is it's got this wax built up everywhere. I've never seen anything like this. It's got all this wax and all uh, these channels. It's so weird. I don't understand why. And it's got this really interesting, unique clasp that looks like it's handmade. It's old. Like this might be an antique bracelet. So we're gonna look for this. The way I would look for something like this, honestly, would be the 950 because that's pretty unique. Most silver jewelry is stamped 925. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to say 950. I'm not gonna call it sterling because it's technically not. Silver bracelet. And I think I'm gonna look at sold listings. I'm just gonna look at sold listings on this one. Let's see if we can find it. So shipping price, highest price for shipping. Okay, so what am I doing wrong here? 950 silver bracelet. This is fine. Let's see if we could find it. Okay, so this is pretty similar. Taxco. It's a different gemstone, but it's the same style, right? We've got these long pieces, even the hinges. So the clasp is definitely not the same, but the hinges are that connect each one. Yeah, notice how these hinges have a rod through them, and it's just you got two circles here and then a circle here, or cylinders for that matter. Mine's similar. No, it's not. It's not similar at all. What am I talking about? It's pretty wildly different. It's also hand soldered. This is all handmade, as is this one. You know what? Mine is probably older than this. I don't know what the stone is in it either. This looks like it might be turquoise. Mine, I have no idea. It might be onyx. Not sure. I don't even think it's onyx, but look at how tarnished it is, and look at how old it is. And all of this was handmade. All of it. I believe, anyways. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So let's keep looking. But this went for 185, but could be because of the turquoise. So let's keep taking a look and seeing what we can find. This one's more similar. And this one doesn't even have any stones in it, which is pretty interesting. Yeah, this is literally just silver linked together. And even this, so this could have gone for maybe 150-ish if I had to take a guess. That's really cool. Okay, 150, cool. Mine's not quite the same as this, but it's getting similar. I'd say it's more similar to that than the last one. We've got this one, Fire Opal. So mine doesn't have Opal in it. This one probably sold because it's got Opal. Similar deal though, not quite the same as far as the hinges go, but it's similar. It's got stamp 950. This is another Taxco. So Taxco is, I believe that's usually Mexican silver. It's always Mexican silver. Taxco, there's usually like a tax code on the silver piece itself, because I guess silver was taxed a certain way in Mexico for a while, if not still. So this one's closer, $150 blue. So that's Opal. Mine doesn't have Opal in it, but it's similar. Turquoise hearts. It's similar, but not quite the same. Let's see what else I could find. That was a bangle. Here's another one, 110. Another one for 110. But those that have Opal in it, right? None of these are as intricate and unique, and I would argue old as mine. Evil Eye bracelet. So these are usually glass, and that's worth 100. That's pretty interesting. So based off of everything that I've seen, I would say mine is very unique. It's very old. It is handmade. It's well made. I think I would want 150 for mine. I think 150 would be probably what I get for it. I might start out with 200, and then I might market it as a unique, old, well-made, handmade piece, and see what happens. It's got this wax in it, which I can't explain. I don't understand why it has wax in it. I haven't seen anything like it that's sold anyways. And I think it's definitely worth more than what I'm looking at right now. So I'm going to go ahead and say that this one is worth 150 minimum. It is all, like, that's all hand soldered. That's hand soldered. This clasp was handmade. Like, every single link was handmade and hand soldered. That was handmade and hand soldered. Yeah, this is all handmade, hand soldered. What an interesting bracelet. Okay, so the last piece. These are some earrings. They're enamel, and they have a dog head on them. I don't actually think that these are silver, and as a matter of fact, I would have to do a Google search on these. I would drag and drop this here, and then I believe that it'll come up on Google, which it does. That's pretty cool, right? If I move my fat head out of the way, you can see that Google Lens found it. You know, we could do both of these if we want. Don't think it's necessary, but yeah, okay. These are the exact same, right? That's what Google Lens is pretty cool. I highly recommend you guys use it. I think it's a really, 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 really underutilized tool, especially when you're trying to identify stuff. So, Enamel Golden Retriever earrings by the Magic Zoo. These look exactly like what I have. And they're going for $40. They're made in the United States. They're made out of stainless steel, and they're made out of... Okay, so then they say it's made out of fine pewter here, but they may say it's made out of stainless steel here. I'm going to go ahead and say they look like pewter because of the way they're cast. Pewter, then hand painted by American artists. Are these not enamels? Yeah, and they're stunning epoxy enamel. This is pretty cool. They're worth $40. I think I could get 20 for them on eBay, right? If I decide to sell them. So there you go. And the Magic Zoo MZ, that matches the hallmark here, right? So pretty cool. Okay, that's everything. So what do we think we have out of all of this? So I paid 80, right? I think I've got 150 plus 100 here, so that's 250 on the low end, plus 40, so that's 290. I'm gonna say this one's 60, so 350 plus another 20, 370. That's pretty good, right? 370. How cool is that? Um, yeah. So was this worth 80 bucks? Absolutely, I think so. This isn't this isn't the best margin stuff you're gonna buy, but I think it's really cool. I think it's worth holding on to. I think that it doesn't take up much space, and this kind of stuff can go up in value too, depending on what happens. Like in other countries, silver is worth like I think a troy ounce of silver in some countries can feed your family for a month or something like that. So I think it's worth it. I'm happy to add all this to my collection. I generally don't sell fine jewelry like this, at least not yet, and I don't really plan to anytime soon. Maybe once I'm older. But yeah, how cool is that? So um, yeah, which piece is your favorite? I think that honestly, I think that this is pretty cool, but I really think this bracelet is probably my favorite piece out of everything. It is so unique, and I've never seen anything like it. And I have seen thousands of pieces of jewelry. So thank you very much. Thanks for watching, and I hope everyone has a good night. I'll see you all in the next video. Thanks.